Hello everyone, my name is Chay talking from UnionJackGaming. Today I'm bringing you another review. This time it's Max Payne 3 from Rockstar Games for Xbox, PS3 and PC. Is the game good after so long and so much hype, or is it a complete failure? Let's find out in the review. Okay, so let's get in the story of Max Payne 3. If you've seen any reviews, which you should have by now, I mean I got it a bit late, this is a late review because of region issues, but if you've seen reviews, you'll see that most reviewers are talking about how great the story is and how brilliant it is. Now, are they right? Yes, the story is amazing. I mean, this is one of those games that really puts you through the eyes of the main character and makes you care and makes you want to see them be their best, you know? You want to see them rise up from the shithole they live in. Max Payne at the start of the game starts off as like a drug addict, an alcoholic, and a manic depressive, and you automatically feel sorry for him. I mean, they play the Max Payne theme tune. You see some remembrance from him going to see his wife and stuff like that, and it's really sad. I mean, it's kind of like, you know, it's supposed to make you feel bad for him. But this whole game takes you through a process in Max's life where he tries to pick himself up, and he makes this decision in his head: should he just keep wallowing in self-pity and never ever get over it and go on with his life, or should he finally pick up the pieces and become a new man? And Rockstar has completely pulled off the redemption story here. I mean, in my opinion, this is the most compelling story in a video game, even by Rockstar to date. Better than Red Dead, better than any GTA, better than any game they've ever released, in my opinion. And I just think it's because the subtlety of the storytelling and the way that they bring Max through his experience and the player at the same time is just very unique, and I've never seen it done so well before, where a character has just been tapped in. I mean, this game is so cinematic and it always keeps you in full drive of Max. There is no loading screens, there's no breaking up the gameplay and breaking up the cutscenes in the story. It's just a continuous lock-in of you seeing this guy and how he reacts to the world around him, and the voiceovers help and stuff like that. But the story is so well told and well made that the game by the end you find yourself caring about a video game character, and by the end you just feel like, you don't realize it, but you're happy for Max. But like, all I'm saying is, you know those games that have really shit stories, or they have really good stories but shit endings? This isn't one of those games. This is a very satisfying story that has a very, very great main character that goes through some tough times, and it's a pickup story. You know, it's a good story. It makes you feel good. And don't worry about the ending, because the ending is great and they completely tapped it off. You know, great. But in my opinion, story is the strongest point in the game. Although there's one issue I think some places you didn't need. Like, I think they kind of dragged it on a bit. Maybe that was because of the delayness and maybe, you know, changing parts of the game certain way through development. But I think that there are some slow parts. But either way, it's all character development, and that's what's great about this game, is the developing of Max, and you go through it at the same time. Compelling story, great job Rockstar. Okay, so now we get into the graphics of Max Payne 3. The graphics are probably the best I've seen since Uncharted 3 and any Uncharted game. It's just jaw-dropping, seriously. I mean, the character animations are out of this world. I mean, if you've seen any of the trailers, it's exactly like that. The animations are so smooth and so fluid, it's so lifelike that it's kind of weird to watch. I mean, the way the story, you know in certain games when you get to a cutscene and then it goes to like it goes to a loading screen, then it goes to the cutscene. In this game, it's just continuous, so you never see a loading screen. So you're always continuously locked into this story, and there is no way of getting out. There is everything in the game is built around Max. Like, the biggest thing in this game is the visual effects that play while you're playing the game. At the start of the game, Max is very drugged up and very alcoholic and very depressed. So when you're playing the game, there'll be flashes or, you know, like distortions and stuff like that to show off Max's lapse in judgment, his shitty, you know, alcoholic problems and the depression he's going through, and everything is shown from his emotions through the gameplay and visual effects. So it makes the game even more interactive and even more visually compelling to the you know, the eye. And it kind of like, it's mad, but they made the graphics to help the story too. So everything in this game just sucks you into Max's life, and I find some people may find the visual effects a little bit, you know, a bit Kane and Lynch 2-ish, where it's just in the way. But in this game, I don't think you'll have a problem with that. I mean, it's not as bad as Kane and Lynch 2. I mean, they're there, but they're there for a purpose. It's not some crappy effect just there to make the game seem different. This game uses everything in its power to make the story even more interactive, and the graphics really show that. Like I said, the animations are out of this world. It's lifelike as hell, and every character model looks amazing. You know, the Rockstar Rage engine is just fully on show here as one of the most badass engines ever created, and I really see no problem in the graphics. Only certain hiccups, you know, like in any Rockstar game, there's little graphical glitches, loading, shit like that, but other than that, they only happen to be like once in the game. You'll have no problem with the graphics in this game. If you're one of them people like graphics make a game, this game is made. I really hope that you see the graphics. In my opinion, I think it's better than Chay 3 in graphics, and probably one of the best looking games ever created. Okay, so now we get into the gameplay. In the gameplay, I'm going to cover the campaign, the extra arcade modes, and the multiplayer. Let's start off with the campaign. Now, base gameplay is usual Max Payne fare. You jump and dodge in slow-mo and bullet time and shoot loads of fuckers in the head, using a whole range of weaponry and, you know, grenades, stuff like that. Well, not grenades, but in multiplayer anyway. And it's a lot of fun. I mean, the gameplay still holds up. The slow-mo is still as awesome as ever, and there's always those moments in the game where they make these certain points where Max has to do a slow-mo, and it makes it even cooler because they put him in these situations where the slow-mo is kind of movie-like and cinematic, and it looks really cool. And the gameplay is really solid, really fun, and will keep you satisfied throughout. The problem that I have with the gameplay is that the game has kind of made a cover mechanic, right? So you'd think to yourself, wait, has Max Payne 3 turned into Gears of War? Well, no. The cover mechanic is needed because Max can die in like a second. This is my biggest problem. In the previous games, I didn't beat Max Payne 1, I didn't beat Max Payne 2, but I played enough of them to know the basics. Max Payne games, you usually can take a lot of damage and be full head-on and guns firing and, you know, not die. And it's a lot of fun. It's an arcade shooty fun. In this game, they've kind of done the thing, like I said before, where everything in the game shows what Max is feeling with the gameplay. Because Max is old and slower, therefore he needs cover and he can die quicker. In my opinion, this is a stupid idea. Cover would have been great, but the way he can just die in a second kind of pissed me off. Say if and you're in the favela level, right? And there's a shit ton of guys around on the roofs, in the windows, in front of you. You know, all the favela levels are like this in gaming. But they're everywhere. And someone throws a Molotov cocktail, and it hits you, and you're on fire. You're dead. Just gone. No pickup, nothing. You cannot get up from that. Someone hits you, it's a one-hit kill. There is no way out. And that's a piss take, in my opinion. I don't think Max should be this weak, even if he is old. The game is still a Max Payne game. You should be able to take more hits than he does. And the reliance on painkillers is outrageous in this game. I use so many, and I never expected to use them. I thought that going into this game, I was thinking I'm going to go around guns blazing, have a good old fun time, I'll listen to a great story. But it's not like that. It takes a lot more thought, and you have to play it like a cover shooter sometimes. You can't use the shoot dodge mechanic or bullet time a lot. Most of the time I use shoot dodge or bullet time just to get the headshots on the enemies that are too far away, or I just can't be asked to, you know, line one up. And that's not what Max Payne's about. Max Payne's about having fun, shooting a bunch of fools in awesome ways. And you know, I only found myself using shoot dodge when nearly the whole room was cleared and 2 guys were left, because, you know, you can't die when you shoot dodge and you're shooting at 2 guys. And that's the only thing I found that was wrong with it. The gameplay is solid, it's fun, but I just thought maybe they could have given Max a bit more health, a bit more, you know, a bit more fighting chance. But that's just a personal opinion. You'll probably love it if you play the game. I mean, if you like shooters, if you like Max Payne, you'll like it. It's a mixture of the two, so I think that a majority of people will like it. I just didn't like that one little point. If we talk about the arcade modes, I didn't really play much of them because I'm not an arcade mode dude, but I thought that they were good what I played. If you like leaderboards and you like chasing, you know, scores and times, well, you're going to like it. It's a lot of fun. The multiplayer, right, the multiplayer, this is where I'm going to split straws with a lot of other reviewers. I don't like the multiplayer. I think that the multiplayer is very tacked on. I just don't find it fun. I mean, I'm not really a multiplayer dude, but when I play multiplayer, I usually play it for like a couple of hours, you know, something like that, or play with friends. I just don't find it that fun, to be honest. I don't find any multiplayer Rockstar games really that fun, to be honest. I never really got into the GTA Online, nothing like that, except for shits and giggles, and I never probably will Max Payne 3. All I'm going to say is, if you're really going into this game, you're going in for the campaign. I don't think the multiplayer will last you long, unless you really are into Rockstar and the social club and stuff like that. But other than that, I don't think you're going to like it for that long. But that's just, you know, my opinion. I think you should all check it out anyway, because it is, you might like it, you know, you never know. But yeah, overall, I think the gameplay is solid, but could have been a tiny bit better. Alright, so let's get to the sound. The sound of Max Payne 3 is amazing, as the story was. James McCaffrey does an excellent job as Max Payne 3 once again. He's very emotional. You know, he is basically the main part of the story. If he was shit, the game would have been shit. But he does it really well, sucks you in even more. The best part about this game, I think, is the way it sucks you into the story, and the voice acting definitely does that. I love the way that they have the bad guys, like, you know, like if they're Brazilians or stuff like that. They don't show what they're saying, so you feel like Max even more, because the intimidation of being in an area where a guy's got a gun to your head and you don't know what the fuck he's saying, and Max is just like, you know, I'm sorry, and you know, he's nervous. It makes you nervous too, because you don't know what they're gonna do, you don't know what they're saying, you don't know what they're planning, and it's a lot more immersive in the story. I think that the side characters are all alright. They're all good in my opinion. The sound is just amazing. All voice acting is on par. There's no bad voice actors at all. I mean, his buddy, what's his name? Passos. The guy who voice acts him, great. The guy who voice acts his boss, great. The guy who voice acts the bad guys, great. They're all great. The soundtrack is amazing, done by Health. Completely suits the game. In my opinion, the sound is just amazing, and there's nothing wrong with it at all. At all. Alright, so now we come to the verdict of Max Payne 3, and this, again, is an area where people are going to disagree, I can tell. I think that the game is a solid rental, and I'll explain why. The campaign is amazing. It will last you about 13 to 15 hours. I mean, it's quite long. It's a very hefty campaign, depending on, obviously, you know, what difficulty you play on. But, yeah, the campaign is amazing. The score attack modes will keep you in for about another so many hours, depending on obviously how long you're into that kind of stuff. I mean, you could get bored of it straight away, or you could be really into it and be really competitive. It depends how much you want to get into it. And like I said before, I think the multiplayer isn't that great. It's very overrated, and I don't think it's that much fun. I think that you should definitely rent it because the story is worth seeing through, but I don't think the rest of the game is going to keep you occupied. But yeah, it's still an amazing game. It's amazing, but I really can't recommend more than a rental, because something that you buy is supposed to be a masterpiece that can keep you playing for a long time. If you're into Rockstar games and you like their multiplayer and you think that it's good from the rental, I would suggest you buy it. But from my standpoint, it's a rental and no more. So yeah. So guys, if you want to see just the gameplay, once again, go to Max Payne 3 for the archives. It'll just be the gameplay, not my talking. You can see if you think it's your type of game. And as always, like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think on this review. I'm pretty sure it's going to be kind of controversial. And I'll speak to you guys later. Have a good day.